Hey guys, welcome to Poolshed Games. This is the Lord
and the Merc,
and today we're going to be doing an unboxing, introduction into the board game BattleCry, which is a Civil War board game where basically there's a rulebook that contains many different battles, and you pretty much can just set up the board whatever way you want to for specific battles and play battles throughout the Civil War.
And it is a Wizards of the Coast Hasbro product, which means it is put out by their board game company, which is Avalon.
And I should mention at this point that this is more or less going to be an introduction to a kind of campaign, I guess you could say we're going to be doing.
A game series.
A game series where we're going to basically go through all of the different scenarios throughout the rulebook.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully,
which will take us from the beginning of the Civil War all the way to the end of the Civil War.
I think it begins
We'll
with
start with the first full battle of the first full run.
Yep.
And the last battle in the book that they provide is Prairie Grove, Arkansas, December 7th, 1862. Which I believe the Prairie Grove battle is part of the expansions, because this is the 150th anniversary edition, which is the 150th anniversary of the Civil War, not of the game.
Yeah. No, this game has been around for 150 years.
Oh, yeah, yes, of course, obviously.
They were playing this when the war was actually going on. But as you can see, this is the board. And the different pieces are up here, which I will zoom in if you want to explain.
Why don't you wait a second here and explain just the layout of the board a little bit. You can see the board is a hex grid board. There's different hexes. That's how you measure your movement. This side is the Union player side. A lot of times in the campaign, the missions are to capture flags of your opponent. And over here you have the Confederate side. They're trying to capture the Union flags.
Which does seem like it'd be kind of confusing, because this is the Union side and there's Confederate flags, but I mean, basically what you're trying to do is take the enemy flags.
And each side of the board is clearly labeled either Union player or Confederate player.
Which is down here at the corner.
And it says captured flags.
Yep.
And then when you set up a game, these tokens, these are your terrain for the different types of games. Like you have, I think that's boulders, you have forest, more boulders, you have rivers, fences, bridge, a town, and they're double-sided. And basically, the scenario in the booklet, which is whatever scenario you're playing in the booklet, will tell you which one of these to put down, and you basically just put them down. Like, say you're making a copse, like a hill. You'd put those down there.
And there are obviously, certain
and then
special
say there
rules that go with that.
were, woods over here. You might have some woods. And, I mean, I could set a river up, but for purposes of demonstration, you could see that the river would run this way.
Run up the hole. Yeah.
Or if you had to you could turn the river.
Yeah.
But that's the way the terrain works in the game, and each scenario has different terrain to represent the historical battlefields.
Yeah. It's it's extremely easy to set up once, it's all in the rule book, and basically you just follow the tiles.
The hardest thing we found is you have to count and make sure you have the terrain set on the right.
Yeah. Because just that one little bit
grid
could throw the whole battlefield off, especially in the case of rivers and things like that.
And now you get these tokens as well, which these are chits. They're on basically cardboard. They're double-sided. One is the Union flag, and one is the Confederate stars and bars. And what those are for is when you take a unit, when you capture a flag, you put it in your little flag tracker. And they're kind of like the victory points of the scenarios.
Yeah, I think you get a flag every time you destroy a unit, if I am thinking correctly.
Yeah. Because the way the units work in the game is Like this is the flag bearer for a cavalry unit, and blue is obviously the Union. And a unit is like a leader. You get 2 of these guys and 1 of these to make a cavalry unit. For infantry, you get 1 standard bearer and 3, I believe, of the regular infantry guys. Which, if I can get those little... You can see they're just like your basic
board game figures.
Pieces. Yep. Now, the game did come with sticker decals to stick on your little banner poles, but it's
not necessary. I mean, if you're really anal retentive about a game you're playing, you could. But
and it feels very much like playing with the old toy army men.
Right,
from, like,
exactly.
When we were little kids.
Exactly.
And last but not least, when it comes to unit types, you have artillery.
Try to zoom in on that a little bit.
And these are obviously your most powerful range unit in the game. They also are the most slow-moving. And this comes with a guy. You get the cannon and a guy.
Yep.
And obviously, like all board games, to get anything done,
you need the dice.
You roll the dice.
Yep.
And you'll notice that each of the dice has something different on it. Depending on what you're trying to shoot is what you need to roll. So if you're shooting at cavalry, you need to roll the cavalry symbol. Shooting at infantry, you need to roll the infantry symbol. Artillery symbol, that is a commander symbol.
Yep.
And that is a retreat.
Which, that's the good one. That's the one you want to roll.
And you get 8 of these dice, which I don't think you ever roll more than 4. I believe cannons roll 4. They might roll 5.
Yeah.
Now the other...
This is probably the most interesting aspect of the game, is that the mechanic of the game runs solely through the cards. Basically, how it works is you get commands for a flank. Like in this certain one, you get a probe left flank. So you can issue 2 orders to units on your left flank. And for instance, in this one, you get an attack center. You can make an attack in the center of the board, which, if you can see on the board, there are 2 lines. Center. This is the right flank. Center. Left flank. Mm-hmm. And basically, the entire game works through these cards. So this one, you can issue 3 orders in the center.
And then you have special order cards.
This one is battle and hold position, so you can issue 1 order to each of your units in a section of your choice. Those units may battle but not move this turn. So basically you have some special cards you can get to that aren't necessarily a single order, but give your entire army.
And each player draws from the deck of game cards and takes your turn is playing an order card, issuing orders to your units, and then fighting and then moving on.
Yep.
That's basically all that comes in the box. The only other thing is you get other...
Yep, which I think these are like bunkers.
Terrain tokens, which are earthworks, trenches, and just like before, they're double-sided.
But I think how they work is if you get a card that says you can set up bunkers, emplacements, things like that, which they offer a huge bonus to both infantry and artillery.
Or, if the mission says for some reason one side would start with it and the other side wouldn't.
Exactly.
But that is the contents of the BattleCry box. And I guess just for good measure, we can show you. This is actually what the inside of the box. You get nice compartments for each side. Your dice go here, your cards go here, and your terrain, you can see, goes in those areas. All in all, it is a really nicely packaged game. And this will be, as the Lich Lord said, a series that we will be bringing you guys, where we'll play the battles and you can watch us duke it out and see if we can either recreate history accurately
or completely butcher history and have the competitors win.
Yeah. We don't know who is going to be the South and the North yet. We'll figure that out at our first game. And the next episode in the series will be the first battle for Bull Run. So hopefully you guys liked getting to see what comes in the box. Maybe if you were thinking about picking this up for